Hey everybody, 3KO Games here. We've got a brand new balance update for May 2025 in Empires and Puzzles going live very soon. Checked my game and a couple of the heroes that it affects for me I didn't show in yet, although iOS has not pushed the latest version 77 update, so maybe that's happening with that update. But anyway, let's go in and take a look at what's going to happen. Now, every month that they do actually do a balance update, some people are thinking, great, I can finally use Bai Yong again, my 2020 hero of the month. And that's not the kind of balance that they're updating. That's probably never going to happen, right? I think the way to interpret this is thinking that, we've got like two classes of heroes, not like fighter and rogue, but like two groups of all of the heroes. They're the ones that are current and still in the meta, and they're the ones that just aren't. And the ones that aren't are not going to be brought into the meta. But everything in the last 6 months, last maybe year, your Astral Dwarves, your Beowulf family, your Moths, your Untold Tales 2, Magic Carpet Heroes, I'm going to forget somebody, your Fauns, Slime Heroes. They are still new-ish. They are still relevant. And as the game continues to grow and the heroes continue to grow, these little balance updates are going to keep those heroes relevant. They're not going to keep Bai Yong relevant. I'm sorry. So anyway, I think as we scroll through and see some numbers that are like, what? If you keep that in mind, maybe it makes more sense. Because some very new heroes are getting very slight tweaks. And if that's just trying to keep them on pace for the hero that's released 2 months from now, then it makes a little bit more sense. Anyway, Astral Dwarves. Megwin's getting a boosted HP regen increase and damage reduction increase. Igzin is getting a damage increase and wither increase. Vard, damage increase and mana generation debuff increase. So these are all slight tweaks. These are pretty new heroes. Obviously, Megwin is the oldest of these and maybe the weakest. So she's getting a more significant increase than like Vard, who is still in Rush in particular, doing very, very well. So just a slight tweak there. Solness is getting a slight increase in direct damage to the first and the second target. Quarry is getting a little teeny bit of direct damage increase. Quarry is still on a lot of meta defenses, so not much for Quarry. Moths are getting a very slight increase in dodge. It's also affecting Ithar. I didn't know Ithar was related to the moth family. Interesting. Pepper Blue got a buff of some direct damage, and now that direct damage is increased. Chunky Roy is a great hero, doesn't need much, but they gave Chunky Roy a little bit more heal and a mana generation buff. More to which, hey, I'll take it. I have this one. I don't have a lot of these heroes. So when it hits one that I actually have, I'm pretty excited. Heal for all allies based on damage dealt increased from 30 to 40%. Good. Damage of Mega Fiend increased from 250 to 270%. I don't really think she needed it, quite honestly, but I'll take it. Satin Pimenter. Now, trying to keep Satin Pimenter relevant, I think Satin Pimenter is one of the weakest moths out there, and just this little bit of increase in toxin damage, I don't get it. Grovert is also getting a Mega Fiend damage increased from 260 to 275%. Fauns, a little bit older, some of them. So a little bit bigger buff in direct damage, like Isidore getting to 350%. Nice. Gideon, defense buff value increased to 60%. Ashian, bunch of stuff. Direct damage increased. Mana reduction after enhanced defense ailment ends or is removed or replaced is going up to negative 15%, or down to negative 15%, I guess. And the allies' mana gain is going up to 15%. Isabel getting a very slight direct damage increase, and a defense ailment value is also increased. Again, Isabel's doing fine, so that 10% direct damage increase is not bringing her from irrelevance to relevance now, but it's just keeping her on pace, I think, 2 months down the road, whatever. Tamlin getting a direct damage increase. Maud, damage to all other enemies increased. Verity, another 30% damage increase. Peregrine, just a 10% damage increase. I think Verity is a little bit older in the fauns, so that makes sense there. Yolanda getting a little bit extra bleed damage. Bramble getting increased mana gain. That's nice. He's a really desirable healer. I would love to get Bramble. The Nidavellir and Murkheim realms, the Untold Tales 2, the red and the blue. Molten Core, corrosive burn damage is increased, and the defense reduction is up to 12% each turn. Arctic Core, corrosive frost damage increased, and the attack reduction is increased to 15% attack down. Then we get individual heroes, more Firestorm Ward for Dularfuller, slightly bigger Firestorm Strike for Region, Hridemarf, slightly bigger Firestorm Strike, and duration of status effects increased from 4 to 5 turns. Wow. Slight increase for Dagger, slight increase in the poison and burn damage. Ott's Firestorm Ward is increased. Gander getting a bigger Firestorm Strike by 200, more health recovered, and a little bit bigger counterattack. Hogni, or Hogna, or whatever, a bigger strike, bigger max health reduction, bigger healing decrease. Eighth Sligar. Okay, Eighth Sligar needed something. Just not a great hero. Not a lot of people use an Eighth Sligar. Big Firestorm Strike increase there. Dodge is increased from 4 to 5 turns, and Mark of Immolation increased from 3 to 5 turns. And Andvari also given an increased Firestorm Ward. Okay. Beowulf, the whole family. Attack buff per stack increased from 25 to 30%. Again, these are super new heroes. They don't need them to be relevant right now, but maybe they need it to be relevant in a couple months. Health boost per resist increased from 450 to 600 HP, and mana gain per resist increased up to 10%. They're renaming a couple things, like the status effect generator is now the source of ailments or the source of buffs. The effects are no longer fully undispellable. Instead, attempted dispels shorten the duration of the effect by 1 turn. All right, I'm curious about the actual thought process behind that, but there it is. Hrothgar's getting a 30% direct damage increase. Wealthiau's getting a nice big heal boost increase. Modthrith counterattack increased. Aeshir heal over time increased. And Unferth direct damage increased. So even the 4 and the 3 stars are getting a little buff there. Nice. Slime family. Slime revive. If you go up against one of these heroes and kill them, but they have the slime revive, you're only going to have 2 turns to kill them before they come back as their full character again. Whew, that's going to be dangerous. I've gone up against a Gunkdus tank before that just that revive just wasted me. Slime Slap also increased indirect damage. This one I love because Sharmani is one of my favorite heroes. A lot of people think she's weak, and I've never agreed with that, but apparently those voices won over, so they gave her a buff. Thank you. Deals 400% damage to the target and nearby enemies. So not only are they getting the devouring goo and the paralysis, but they're also getting 400% damage, which I guess is nice, because if you misfire the devouring goo or the paralysis, sometimes like nothing happens, and then what did I even use her for? Slow hero. But now you're at least getting that damage. So that's great. I will continue to use her all the time. Nidus, holy enemies now receive reduced defense against dark. Okay. Negative 34% defense against dark for 3 turns. Gunctus also getting direct damage increased. Fungustine, direct heal increased. Defense buff increased. Gouldrin, direct damage increased. And the slime fiend is getting stronger. Trying to do these quickly. I don't know that I need to read every single detail here. Slimgo, direct damage increased. Water damage increased. And mana generation increased. Or ailment is increased. Muctus, direct damage increased. He's a little older. Bigger direct damage increased. And the slime fiend is increased. Gurik, status effects increased from 4 to 5 turns. And big mana generation buff to all allies. Pretty nice. Gurian, direct damage increased. And defense ailment buffed max 60%. Pretty nice. Magic Carpet family, brand new. But they're getting just a little bit. Mana generation buff increased and dodge buff increased just by 5% there. The replacement effects by 5% are increased. Okay. Naeem getting a little bit more damage, a little bit more counterattack, a little bit more sand touch. Alyssa getting up to a 50% direct heal. That's pretty great. I don't understand these next two at all. Ultrox and Gellert getting a very minimal stat increase. And using the logic I've been thinking about the rest of these heroes, this doesn't fit. I mean, they're not even talking about their costumes or anything here. It's just like barely anything at all. I don't get it. Would love to have some information on this is a good idea. Heroes of the Month, we just know that they do, so this is May. These are all Heroes of the Month released in May in past years. And they're just going to give them a teeny tiny buff. Does not make them usable again. I still use Alassi once in a while in a pinch. Yang Mai, never. But they're all getting direct damage increases. Suzuna, did I keep her or did I feed her away? A very minimal heal over time increased, and Bow and Runt, some direct damage increased. Those are the updates, everybody. Some things here at the bottom that are pretty pointless, but some stuff at the top that's pretty amazing depending upon who you have. If you have some of those heroes, congratulations to you. I'm really hoping to pull some of those heroes at some point. SG has just not shown me love in the summon portals for fauns and Astral Dwarves and Beowulf family people. Maybe one of these days. Let me know down below what you think, and thank you for watching the video today, everybody. We'll see you next time.